This is News 8 Now at noon.
Good afternoon and thank you for watching News 8 Now. I'm Sophia Pullman. A Russian jet downed a U.S. drone over the Black Sea near Ukraine. Despite the incident, the U.S. says it will continue to fly missions near Ukraine. Officials say the drone was flying over the Black Sea to monitor the war in Ukraine, and the Russian jet flew close behind to intercept it. The Pentagon says the incident was an example of Russia's risky behavior, but Russia's ambassadors say they did not cause the crash. The Pentagon has begun a more in-depth investigation into the crash. Both the U.S. and Russia are now trying to recover the drone. Today, Houska Park in the city of La Crosse is closing and is evicting anyone who is still living there. A month ago, the city posted eviction notices at the park with warnings that all property will be removed from the area. Any non-hazardous property will be stored for 30 days for people to claim, but after that, it will be thrown out. The park was a temporary campground for the unsheltered until it officially closed in October. People are still living at the park. The city wants to clean and restore the area. City officials say they don't expect to relicense it as a campground anytime soon. We'll have more on that tonight at 5. For the first time, the Environmental Protection Agency has proposed federal limits on forever chemicals known as PFAS. News 8 Now's Dua Ishrar spoke to Supervisor Lee Donahue about what this means for communities like the town of Campbell.
It's something we've been waiting for a long time.
In the state of Wisconsin, dozens of counties don't have the option of doing something as simple as drinking water from the faucet.
Our legislators need to acknowledge how toxic PFAS is.
The man-made forever chemical is found in everyday items.
Get these products out of food packaging, out of children's toys, out of clothing whenever possible, out of firefighting foam whenever possible.
In the town of Campbell, you only have to turn on the tap to come in contact with the cancer-causing chemicals. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources standard for PFAS is 70 parts per trillion, or 70 drops of water in an Olympic-sized pool. The Environmental Protection Agency recommended that advisory in 2016.
70 part per trillion is so outdated.
Now, for the first time, the EPA is proposing a federal limit on PFAS and PFOA. Supervisor 2 Lee Donahue says this could change the state DNR's approach to forever chemicals.
This is really very likely to change all of those numbers and definitely to push for a groundwater standard, which the state of Wisconsin has never had.
If the federal limit goes into effect, states like Wisconsin will have to change their standard from 70 parts per trillion to 4 parts per trillion.
How important it is that we minimize our exposure to these compounds.
While the town of Campbell residents can't turn on their tap, for other places, Donahue says this proposal is a step towards prevention.
It's exciting to know other communities may be protected, much better protected than they have been in the past.
Reporting in the town of Campbell, Dua Ishrar, News 8 Now.
The EPA will take public comment for the next 60 days, but if there are no hurdles, then the federal limit may go into effect by the end of the year. The Wisconsin DNR says once the EPA's federal limit is in effect, the DNR will match the state standards with the EPA.
Well, over the last 6 hours, we have noticed that the clouds have begun to increase across much of the Coulee region. That's because we're just out ahead of a major storm system, which is forecast to give us some wet weather here tomorrow, maybe even some snow for tomorrow night. And you can see all those clouds moving in across the Coulee region now as we speak, limiting the sunshine. Temperatures are currently into the low to mid 40s. We're seeing 41 in La Crosse now. Same temperature to the north in Eau Claire even as well. 46, the warm spot right now in Black River Falls, and temperatures down south across our far south locations. In Prairie du Chien at 44, Bosqueville 42, and 43 degrees is the temperature right now in Winona. So you can see those cloudy skies behind there from City Cam 8, which are expected to continue into the afternoon forecast today with seasonable temperatures overall and also dealing with a southerly breeze at around 10 to 15 miles an hour. Coming up in a few minutes, we'll take a look at that full weather forecast. I'll let you know exactly when that rain is coming down, how much we could see, and when that snow will arrive too, and we'll go over some of those snowfall accumulations that we could be looking at by Thursday as well in just a little bit.
Political officials and Native American Wisconsinites went to the Capitol for the State of the Tribes address. The speech was given by Robert Van Zyl, chairman of the Sokogan Chippewa community. Partnerships between natives and federal and state officials was a common topic of the address. Van Zyl suggested more federal involvement in Indian health services may solve issues of medical barriers. He shared this message about the Native community.
Tribal members are both U.S. citizens and members of their own sovereign nation. We cherish tradition. We take pride in our tribal nations, and we love our country.
Speaker of the State Assembly Robin Vos appointed Van Zyl as the event speaker. The Wisconsin Supreme Court race is now the most expensive in U.S. history. As of last week, candidates spent over $20 million on TV and radio ads. A majority of the funds came from Janet Protowich, who spent $8 million on television ads alone. A large portion of the money spent is from outside groups, including Fair Courts America and A Better Wisconsin, which were active in the primary.
So the money's pouring in from national liberal and left-wing groups for Janet Protasiewicz because they want to flip the court. It's that simple. Why we're getting so much attention from national Democrat groups.
Close to $3 million has been spent by those outside groups, and right now, most of that spending has been for things like ads opposing one of the candidates. The deadline to register by mail or online ends today. All voters must provide a proof of residence when registering for the April 4th spring election. If you want to vote absentee, you need your photo ID to register. Still to come today at noon, the U.S. Department of Justice opens an investigation into Silicon Valley Bank. We'll have that and more in today's Money Watch.
The FAA is holding an airline safety summit today, prompted by a recent string of close calls at U.S. airports. Yesterday, we learned about yet another near collision at Washington's Reagan National Airport last week. An American Eagle jet taxied across a runway where a United Airlines plane had just been cleared for takeoff. Investigators say it appears the pilot of the American Eagle jet made a wrong turn. CBS News has confirmed the Department of Justice has opened an investigation into the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank just days after it was taken over by federal bank regulators. Federal law enforcement officials say the probe is now in its early stages. Regulators also took over Signature Bank on Sunday. The FDIC is guaranteeing all deposits at both banks. And there is more bad news in Silicon Valley. Facebook's parent company Meta announcing another wave of layoffs yesterday. CEO Mark Zuckerberg says the company is now cutting 10,000 jobs in recruiting and tech through May and will not fill another 5,000 open positions. The social media giant previously cut 11,000 jobs late last year amid a downturn in online advertising. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Chanel Call.
As we head to break, here's a live look at the New York Stock Exchange. Stay with us. More news is next. Kids who carry even a few extra pounds have a higher risk for high blood pressure, and a common dry cleaning chemical is linked to Parkinson's disease. Skylar Henry takes a look at some of the day's top health stories.
Exposure to the chemical trichloroethylene is associated with a 500% increased risk of Parkinson's disease. That's according to a team of international researchers publishing in the Journal of Parkinson's Disease. The chemical is widely used to decaffeinate coffee, degrease metal, and dry clean clothes. Researchers say the runoff from those processes contaminates up to 1/3 of groundwater in the U.S. A new study finds children at the high end of the average weight range were 26% more likely to develop high blood pressure compared to kids in the medium range. Researchers tracked more than 800,000 children in Southern California for 7 years. They also found the rate of high blood pressure was higher among boys and among children on state-subsidized health plans. And having a high level of caffeine in the blood might help keep body fat levels in check and lower the risk of type 2 diabetes. That's according to a new study in the British Medical Journal. Researchers say more study is needed about the role of calorie-free caffeinated drinks like coffee. Those are some of today's top health stories. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
Here is a live look through CityCam 8. Derek is in next with our forecast.
Well, there's a very cloudy start here to the afternoon. Nothing like what we had this morning when skies were looking clear, but that has drastically changed, as you can see behind me from CityCam 8. 41 degrees is the current temperature in La Crosse. We're looking at visibilities, though, at around 10 miles. River Sage is at 5.11 feet, and that's dropping. Meanwhile, to the north in Eau Claire, we're currently at 41. Feels like 33 degrees when you factor in the wind chill. South winds 15 miles an hour. So a little bit breezy here out there this afternoon as we're watching a storm system to our west brew, and also giving us some cloudy weather here over the last 6 hours. In fact, we have noticed the skies turn especially cloudy, and there is more here on the way back towards the west. I do want to show you that southerly wind profile that we have in place right now out ahead of this major storm system, and that is helping to bring us some much warmer air to work with, and therefore our temperatures today will be a little bit more seasonable compared to average. And you can see that this trough of low pressure is developing to our west. This is our storm system that we are watching carefully, and as you can see, we're watching a lot of cloud cover, rain showers, even some snow showers across portions of the Mountain West, and all this is expected to organize and move in our general direction. For today, out ahead of it, though, we are looking mainly cloudy. Temperatures at 46 degrees at 3 o'clock, 45 by 5, and by 7 we're up 44 degrees, so not really a whole lot of variation there with temperatures, and looking mainly cloudy here again, as you'll see on Sky Tracker as we time things out. Still very cloudy through at least 9 o'clock here across the upper Midwest, and as we head into early tomorrow morning, we're going to be watching that system containing a cold front here as well, along with that main low pressure system axis closing in to give us the rain showers to work with as early as around 1 o'clock or so tomorrow afternoon. And it will continue to remain pretty wet here throughout much of the day before some of this begins to transition to snow showers on the backside as the temperatures will drop, and therefore we could be looking at some possible scattered snow showers here as we head into tomorrow evening. Now, the models have come down here a little bit on the intensity of the snow. Earlier they're more widespread. Now we're thinking probably not a whole lot of snow here on the backside, as this will mainly be a rain event for us to work with, but still can't rule out the possibility of snow chances for tomorrow evening before everything begins to pull away here as we head into early Friday. And then by noon it does look like some of those clouds here will kind of stick around at least for a little while, but not as cloudy as today, though. So as far as rain tracker shows us, the rain here, as far as the amount that we could see, kind of has lessened here as well. Earlier this morning, the models were kind of indicating around a ½ inch or so of rain, now showing below a ½ inch of rain. And as far as snow totals go, that has also come down. We're still thinking around a trace or so is possible across portions of the area, around 1 to 2 inches, mainly off to the west here as well, including the Eau Claire area. Ladysmith may see a little bit more in some of those heavier snow bands that could develop. Here's a check on that 8-day forecast, and obviously good chances of rain there for tomorrow as we have 100% there. And then as we head into early Friday, again, that slight chance of snow is possible, and we may even be watching that possibility linger into somewhat there on Saturday. Mainly flurries here, it looks like, as far as the snow goes. And then for Sunday, we're looking much sunnier. Same can be said on Monday for that first official day of spring, too, by the way. And then we're jumping up into the upper 40s, perhaps even the low 50s by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week.
Thanks, Derek.
Yeah.
When we come back, meet the cutest biker gang you've ever seen. Today kicked off a special program at Coon Valley Elementary School.
You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
No more training wheels. Kids at Coon Valley Elementary are learning to ride bikes thanks to a special program. They have everything they need to learn how to ride without training wheels, a fleet of 24 bikes, helmets, and a teacher instruction bike. The program officially kicked off this morning, and the students' PE teacher says today has been on their minds for weeks.
We had a countdown going, so the kids have really been looking forward to this day for a long time. They've heard about the bikes coming, they've seen the boxes of the bikes come in, and they're super excited for today.
Kids will attend bicycle lessons for the next 2 weeks. S&S Cycle helped fund most of the program. Stay with us. We have one more check of your forecast when we return.
Rain showers arrive tomorrow afternoon, then continue throughout much of the day and may even transition over to some snow here for tomorrow night and maybe even linger into early Friday. There are some snow flurries in the forecast for Friday and Saturday. But the good news is Sunday and Monday, if you're a fan of the sunshine, like I'm sure most of us are, we got that in the forecast there. Tuesday and Wednesday, the cloudy skies arrive, and then we are going to be looking at highs into the upper 40s by Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. So just enjoy a rainy day tomorrow, I guess, because it's going to be here whether we like it or not, and then Friday and Saturday somewhat dry out a little bit.
So every day besides Thursday and Friday, I can be outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you for watching. Catch you later.